The classroom was silent, but every eye was watching. Watching her. Amara sat in the second row, her hands clenched on her desk, her jaw tight. It was only her third day at Roosevelt High, and she already knew the rules: blend in, don't speak too much, and whatever you do, don't react. But today, that rule would be broken. Amara had just moved from Atlanta to a mostly white, small-town high school in the Midwest. She didn't come looking for trouble. She came with hopes of starting fresh after her dad's job transfer, hoping maybe, just maybe, people would see her for who she was, not the color of her skin. But Roosevelt High wasn't ready for her. From the moment she walked into school that Monday, whispers followed. Stares. Giggles. The kind of subtle racism that was always passed off as just joking. They mocked her braids. Called her a ghetto. One girl asked if her skin tanned like normal people. Another snatched a pencil from her desk and asked if it was black girl certified. She ignored it all. That's what her mother taught her. Dignity first, always. But there was one person she couldn't ignore. Carla. Carla Matthews was loud, mean, and used to being the queen of everything. She didn't like new people. She especially didn't like someone like Amara walking in with her quiet confidence, her sharp mind, and the way the teachers seemed to immediately respect her. On the third day, in fifth period history class, Carla snapped. Amara had just answered a question Mr. Lawson had asked, something about civil rights and the role of youth protests. Her answer was intelligent, passionate, and articulate. The class actually clapped. Mr. Lawson smiled proudly. That was all it took. Carla slammed her book shut, stood up, and said loudly, "Why don't you shut up and go back to whatever trash place you came from?" The room froze. Mr. Lawson stood up, stunned. "Carla, sit down." But she didn't. She walked over to Amara's desk, her face twisted with rage, and grabbed her arm. "I said, you don't belong here. Let's go." And she tried to drag Amara from her seat. But Amara didn't move. Her body remained still, grounded like stone. Her arm didn't flinch. Her eyes rose slowly, locking onto Carla's face, not with fear, but with fire. She stood. Everyone expected her to shout, to hit back, to lose control. But what she did next stunned the entire room. Amara gently pulled her arm free, stepped back, and said, in a voice so steady it silenced even Carla, "Don't ever touch me again. You don't get to decide who belongs. You don't get to rewrite history. And you definitely don't get to drag me anywhere." Carla's mouth opened. Closed. She stepped back, unsure for the first time. Amara turned to Mr. Lawson and said, "May I continue my point?" He nodded slowly. She continued speaking, as if nothing had happened. Calm. Fierce. Unshaken. After class, Mr. Lawson walked her to the office. Not to report her, but to make sure she felt safe. He told the principal everything. Carla was suspended for 2 weeks for assault and racial harassment. Her parents threatened the school, but the video another student had secretly filmed made everything undeniable. That video went viral. Not because Amara fought, but because she didn't. She stood up. Spoke clearly. And didn't give hate the reaction it wanted. That video started a movement across schools online, with the hashtag she did not flinch. People everywhere shared their own moments of dignity in the face of bullying. Amara received messages from students she didn't know, thanking her for showing strength in a way that didn't involve fists. But the real story began after the cameras turned off. Amara didn't want to be a symbol. She wanted change. So, she worked with Mr. Lawson and a few other students to create the school's first Cultural Unity Club, a place where students of all backgrounds could talk, share stories, and challenge stereotypes. The club grew fast. People who had never even spoken to each other before were suddenly connecting over music, books, experiences. Carla returned from her suspension quieter, embarrassed. And one day, she came to a club meeting. She didn't speak. She just listened. That was enough. Amara went on to lead school assemblies on diversity. She wasn't loud, but when she spoke, people listened. Because she had already shown the school what courage looked like. She never wanted to be dragged into the spotlight. But once she stood in it, she made sure it meant something. Moral of the story. Real power isn't loud. It doesn't shove back, it stands still. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is not flinch. Respect isn't given by popularity, it's earned through presence.